Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Colin Robertson.
Yes,
How's it
sir.
going, buddy?
Oh, it's fantastic. We're living through summer. Got a couple weeks left before I leave for college, but we're just embracing the moment right now.
First off, I cannot thank you enough for coming on here.
Thank you.
Text, I know that I've been wanting to get you on here for a very long time, and
hmm
schedules finally aligned.
Yep,
But it has been quite the year for you.
it has.
From I'll start with just the sports side of things. To go on the run that with doing the track stuff as well as I think the biggest thing that we need to go over probably the soccer season that you guys had going all the way to the state finals. I know the ultimate
hmm
goal was not accomplished, but at the end it was probably a season that I don't think I'll or anybody else around the program will ever forget.
Yeah, it has been an amazing season to say the least, or amazing year, I should say. So committing to the Merchant Marine Academy allowed me to play high school soccer and run high school track. And those are two things I've always wanted to do since I was in seventh grade, especially track as well, because I mean, those are my friends there, Luke Campbell, Bodie Cooper, Tyler Langley, all those guys. So being able to especially play high school soccer, that was one of the best moments of my life. The community came around us. The amount of support we felt was just it was indescribable. It was just fantastic. And especially playing with the guys I grew up with, that was very, very special as well. And I gotta thank like Coach Mark Howell and all that, because if he didn't contact me, none of this would have happened. None of this would have came into fruition. So that's all I
Yeah,
gotta say about that.
yeah. Because for a lot of people that don't know, you weren't. This is the only year that you play. I know you were. I know you came from the club world, but what
Mhm.
kind of sold you?
So what sold me initially was the idea that I only had 1 year of high school left, and I couldn't relive this moment. I couldn't come back to this to say I played for Brighton or play for my school, and that really kind of put into perspective the things like, if I die tomorrow, would I be happy? Or if I die next year, would I be happy not playing high school ball? And the truth is, I would not be fulfilled. I just knew I had to play high school ball at least 1 year, and everything worked out perfectly. Um, and I gotta thank Coach Mark for sitting down, having coffee with me, or having breakfast with me, because truth is, without that little meeting, I wouldn't be playing high school ball. So
Yeah. To have the season that you did, to have the run that you guys went on, what will you most remember? I mean, if you check out your, we'll get to that in a minute. But what was that? What will you most remember about that?
the whole journey, I think it was everything is amazing. I think having my first debut, I was so nervous, and I thought I performed really well. Had a nice goal that first game, but I think the best part was when we hopped on the bus. No, it was the morning of the state finals game. We went over to Andrew Bowman's house, and we had a nice team breakfast, and we sat together and we said, "Today's the day we're gonna win a first state championship." And as we know, it didn't fall the way we wanted it, but that day, the energy around the whole team was something I can't describe. And hopped on the bus, going downtown through traffic, um, the police sirens in front of us, the people lined up on the sidewalks. That was amazing, knowing that there's that many people there for us, and then pulling into Grand Ledge, seeing the stands just packed,
Yeah.
butt to butt. It was awesome. So.
Yeah, because I know I know I was already in Grand Ledge because I
Mm,
decided to take because that was my first soccer state final, so I just took in the entire day.
right.
Um, so yeah, that would have been cool to see. But
Yeah.
you also besides being a player, we'll get to the college stuff in a minute, but you're also on the content side of things.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
A documentary about this soccer season. You've done a lot of different things from that. Like, what kind of inspired you to do all this stuff?
So I've been making videos since I was 6 years old. I've always been very creative. I stress this, like I'm very creative on the soccer field. I like to create a lot of things. I'm creative in the classroom. I have a really artistic side to me. I guess you could say that sounds a little cheesy, but it's
Yeah.
the truth. And I've been making videos since I can remember back in the day. And since then, my skills have gotten better. I've connected with people across the country actually with videos,
Mhm.
and I've grown a pretty decent sized channel based off of my soccer career and all that, based off my MLS Next career prior to high school. And yeah, it's something I really enjoy, and hopefully in the coming years I can make that somewhat of a um profession if I can, or at least a side hustle or something like that. Because right now, not a lot of money is coming through it, but it's definitely a passion of mine. So,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah. Speaking from experience, obviously, we
mhm,
obviously my channel just hit 1,000 last year,
mhm,
so I'm just kind of trying to experience all that stuff. But yeah,
right.
it's you also did you were also in the leadership class. You also taped. You also created the last. You brought the lip dub back, so that was
Yeah.
what was that like to do?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, getting the school environment all rowdy before each senior class leaves is always awesome. Gives a good core memory for every class. And it's definitely one of the most stressful things of my high school career because there's a lot of logistical things that go into it, lining up each team, each club, and then especially this year as well, the editing part of the lip dub was a lot harder as well because we had transitions and all that, but it
Yeah.
turned out pretty good. So
Yeah, I mean, you literally, I think there was like one scene where you literally just like, I think you like went into you really showed off the creative side by, doing the underwater cameras and
mhm.
I believe in the pool, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. The underwater camera. We got a GoPro, just dropped it in the water, and then a lot of tedious work, but it worked out. So
Yeah. How'd track season go?
oh, it was awesome as well. I mean, like I said, I've been wanting to run track since seventh grade. I mean, so running with on the 4x4 team, running with Bodie, Owen Buckley, and Ian Cox. Those are three of my good friends. And especially like the start of the season, we ran 3:36 or 3:38, something like that. And end of the season, final meet, we ran 3:22, which is 1 second off nationals time. So it's an understatement to say, or I should say, the Bulldogs showed up. The Bulldogs performed when we needed it. And especially Ian and Bodie, they dropped 52nd, 400 meters, which is crazy splits. I think Owen Buckley ran 51 flat, and then I ran a 51.6. So we all um, made it a guts race. Made it fought for each other. I guess you could say. So it was awesome being part of the environment. And also I'll be running track at Merchant Marine Academy based off my time. So I continue to the coming years. So.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about like before we talk about what's next, we have to reflect back. Have you had time to reflect back on this year? Because it's been I think Friday was graduation, so everything's officially done. School year's officially done for Brighton as a whole. But just how exciting is it you know, to talk about your time there, and just to reflect back? And what will you most remember?
Man, I think all 4 years of high school were very special, especially the first couple with mask and whatnot. That was a bit of a crazy ride.
That was the COVID
Um,
year.
yeah, right. And then the online some days.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, freshman year, there's not much to remember, quite frankly, because masks, online virtual day, you didn't really get to connect with people face to face, really. But I'd say junior and senior year were like upperclassmen years. They were awesome, I'd say, because I get to be part of the school environment more. I get to have a lot more hands-on, create videos for the school. I think I could say I was somewhat of a leader of my class, and I think that definitely helped with all the production I made, all the creation of videos and stuff like that. And I think that just this senior year, having having the chance to play high school sports was actually, I'd say, my first regular year of high school. Because being so caught up in the club environment, um, it kind of sucks up every ounce of your time. And I didn't experience anything socially until this year. And this year, I got to give it to the soccer team, man. It was just unreal. Every night, every weekend, every Friday, um, we'd have Olive Garden before the games, get us all rough and rowdy, I guess you could say. And
Yeah.
it was just great connecting with the guys. And I think building the relationships with the team was probably the most important thing this year. So
Okay. So let's talk about what's next. So you've mentioned it a couple times. Where are
yeah.
you?
So next year I'm going to the United States Merchant Marine Academy. It's one of the 5 federal service academies in the United States. So most people know Army, West Point, Navy, and Air Force, but there's 2 extra academies. There's Coast Guard Academy and Merchant Marine Academy. So there's 5 in total. Um, this academy is located Kings Point, New York, and essentially it gets you ready to be a merchant marine mariner, whatever you could say that. I get to play soccer there and free education as well. So that's big reason as to why I went there as well is because um, not being burdened with student debt is very huge towards picking a college. I had other colleges I could go to, but having the opportunity to get free education, free tuition versus playing in the same division, but paying 25,000 a year, it's just a no brainer. And I'm gonna grow a lot as a person there. And I mean, I leave in a couple weeks, so it's kind of crazy to say, but we'll go there with an open mind, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Did you always see yourself? Did you consider, military career after high school?
Yeah, so I've always been thinking about federal service academy since I was 12. So I was originally looking at Army West Point. They're a D1 soccer program, and the coach reached out to me there and was really interested. So I went to a camp there, and that's where I got connected with Merchant Marine Academy. And a big thing that swayed me to go to the Merchant Marine Academy is post graduation. You have 5 years where you can go into the private sector, which is less military. It's actually working in the maritime industry. So I get to travel the world um, and basically working on shipping containers to and from ports and whatnot. So it's if I choose to go military, I can. If I don't want to, I don't have to. So that's the only military academy that allows that. And that's a big thing. I picked because having the flexibility is huge in post graduation.
Yeah. Is there anything that you didn't get a chance to say yet that you want to say now? Like because I know you're one to that doesn't hold back on a lot of things. So
Yeah.
is
Um, maybe I should make this short and sweet. It's been real, Brighton. It's been fun. I want to thank you for popping out to the soccer games and making my 4 years great. Whoever sees this, so that's
yeah.
all I gotta say.
Well, a lot of people are going to see this. So
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
all right. Well, Colin, thanks so much for the time. I know thank you so much for taking the time to do it, and best of luck in the next step.
Thank you, Casey. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thanks for all the hard work this year.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Casey.